Hey friends, it's Jenny Wren, and I am here today to talk to you about settings in Zoom. Zoom is one of the many tools out there that allows you to record your conversations with people on the other end, and it's one that I like because I can record with my clients and actually have information on both sides, or if I'm doing workshops, etc. So, one of my clients wanted this, so what great opportunity to share the knowledge that she needs while I can go ahead and share it with all of you. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to take a look at some of the more basic information that you have. So, as you can see here, I've got my screen and I've got my Zoom that I've set up here, and I do pay for Zoom, so there's a few settings here that I get that are great. All right, so we've got our personal profile, etc. And on here, so I've got my profile, we've got all these settings, we've got recordings, and that's all actually where you save them in general. But right here, I go into my settings and I've got recording, telephone, meeting. And here you've got really basic pieces of it, the kind of audio, join before host, personal IDs, etc. There's one part right here that can be nice, which is mute upon entry. But if you want to have two tracks, and that's what I recommend for Zoom, because sometimes you can have faulty audio. There's two things that I'm going to show you today that help you have less faulty audio. The first one is with mute upon entry. It means that when you start and the other person starts, you're going to have two non-synced tracks. So if you're both able to start it at the same time, you're going to have that full audio for it. So I actually don't recommend doing mute upon entry because you're going to have to later sync it. Heading down here later is another really important one. So you can go ahead right here. This one is called original sound, and that means that it's coming straight from their computer and you're not getting some of that really questionable audio that you get with Zoom where it sounds really goofy, etc. And those are the two really important elements I think that you should know here within the Zoom settings, is going ahead and having original sound and then not having mute upon entry so you don't have to do later tracking. Now, we're actually going to go into Zoom, and I'm going to set a new meeting just to have an idea. So you can see this is me, right? And on the bottom of the bar is where you can change your settings. So you can have an invite where I'm inviting somebody. I can manage my participants, etc. I've got chat. And up in the top bar, I've got my preferences. And I'm going to go to preferences right here. And I have it, as you can see, it was automatic setting. So in my audio, I've got where I'm going to be recording from, which is great. You have that mute microphone as an option, but I don't want that. Enable original sound. So I'm going to go right here to show in meeting option to enable original sound. So if you have somebody else that your person on the other side can go ahead and automatically do that. So they're going to have that option and you're going to request that. That's really helpful. And then I'm going to go ahead here into recording. So this is the second really important place, and the place that you're going to have the most important thing, which is those two tracks. And that is great because it allows you to edit one person and the other. And why that's really important in Zoom, because of the fact that the audio quality can be iffy. If one person's mic setting is really high or one person's really low, it's going to allow you to mix them a lot better since you have a lot less control on two sides. It's also going to mean that if you're having any weird audio on one side or there's weird sound on the other side, you can actually go ahead and, while you're editing those tracks, cut out those sections as opposed to cutting out the person who's already talking. And I see more issues with those things happening in Zoom than anywhere else, because not every guest is somebody who understands how to have a mic really great, or they don't have the same materials or the same mic setup that you might have at home. So I'm going to automatically go ahead and here to set this, and you can set this either to your cloud or to home. And then right here, this is the one that we want to go ahead and have, is we want to record a separate audio file for each participant. That means that you're going to get two tracks every time that you're doing this, so that you have two tracks to be able to work with and post, which is really, really helpful, especially if you work with an editor. So that is actually really all that we really have here. It's kind of funny seeing my side face on that one, right? I'm going to come back to myself over here. And yeah, it is kind of funny to see my side face there in the Zoom. But that's all that you really need to be able to multi-track on Zoom. And I hope that this was helpful for you today, and that you guys are all having a great holiday. And I'm going to be sharing more tips as I'm back in the studio before I head down to Arizona. And I just picked up a new USB microphone so that I can go ahead and do a couple videos while I'm in my favorite room down in Arizona, which is our Arizona room. You'll see it's an interesting space, and it's kind of fun. So I hope you guys are having a good one, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.